The Chinese Coast Guard is now seizing Taiwanese boats. Can Taiwan hold its ground? Welcome to China Uncensored, I'm Chris Chappell. China's getting really brazen in the South China Sea. And I know I say that practically every week, but they keep escalating practically every week. When it's not acting like a pirate against the Philippines and participating in military drills around Taiwan, China's Coast Guard is out seizing Taiwanese fishing boats. So, acting like a pirate against Taiwan, I guess it's at least consistent. So, what is China's excuse for seizing a Taiwanese boat? Well, China bans fishing in certain areas for a few months every summer to protect fisheries. And according to a spokesman for the China Coast Guard, the fishing vessel violated the Chinese fishing moratorium regulations and trawled illegally within the prohibited area. Ah, yes, because if anyone respects fishing regulations, it's China. Interestingly enough, the owner of the fishing vessel told local media there were 40 to 50 fishing boats out at sea at the time. I don't know why he targeted my boat. This never happened before. In the past, they would just chase you away if you got too close. You know it's bad when Taiwan is wishing for the good old days when China just chased them away instead of seizing them. The fishing boat was last heard from about 11 nautical miles from China and 24 nautical miles from Jinmen, an island near mainland China that is under Taiwanese control. But reports vary on where the boat was actually seized, with the BBC saying that Taiwan officials confirmed it was seized inside China's territorial waters, about 2.8 nautical miles off its coast. And Reuters saying it was fishing for squid in Chinese waters near the Taiwan-controlled Jinmen Islands. That's right, Jinmen with a K. Two Chinese Coast Guard vessels intercepted the Taiwanese fishing boat, which is called the Dajinman 88. It had a Taiwanese captain and 4 crew members, 1 Taiwanese and 3 Indonesian. According to the South China Morning Post, mainland officers boarded the boat for inspection and told the captain and crew to navigate towards the main coastal city of Jinjiang in Fujian province. But according to Taiwanese authorities, the fishing boat was actually taken to Weitou, a port in the Chinese city of Quanzhou, also in Fujian province. I've heard of China black-bagging people, but that must have been a pretty big bag to fit a boat inside of it. Taiwan's Coast Guard tried to intervene, but China sent 7 additional vessels to block them. According to Bloomberg, Taiwan's maritime authorities said that their Coast Guard ships tried to prevent the fishing vessel from being detained, but since our boats had penetrated deep into the other party's territorial waters, in order to avoid escalating the conflict, the hot pursuit was stopped. But China wasn't interested in avoiding escalation. Not long after, Taiwan reported increased military activity in the area, which is a totally rational and not at all unhinged response. A fishing boat got a little too close, mobilize the military. This is just a week after China sent 4 vessels to patrol the waters around Jinmen, which also just so happened to coincide with a U.S.-China Economic and Security Review Commission delegation visit that met Taiwan's president in Taipei. China just loves to stir up trouble in the South China Sea, just like it accuses the U.S. of doing. The Taiwan Coast Guard called on China to refrain from engaging in political manipulation and harming cross-strait relations, and to release the Dajinman ship and crew as soon as possible. Now, learning the truth on what's going on in China can be difficult, considering their state-run media is riddled with censorship and political manipulation. That's why it's more important than ever to stay informed with a variety of news sources so you can cross-check information and verify its accuracy. And I've been using our longtime sponsor, Ground News, to help simplify this. Ground News is a website and an app that aggregates over 50,000 sources in one place, helping you see the full picture and reveal what information might not be entirely accurate. For example, let's take a look at this recent story about China and the Philippines holding crucial talks to ease tensions after an intense clash in disputed waters. Ground News instantly gives me a summary of the topic and then links to over 30 different articles about it from all across the political spectrum. With each source, you can see whether it leans left, right, or center, and how factual it is, like South China Morning Post, that's owned by Alibaba Group, a Chinese company. And at the top, if you click Bias Comparison, You can see, for example, how the left discusses de-escalation efforts and the right uses more loaded language such as aggressive actions and details specific violent events. Obviously, there's a lot of different perspectives on most issues. Ground News is on a mission to hold the media accountable and provide context so we can see how media narratives can easily shape public opinion. It's a great place to go if you want to be more informed than the average newsreader and find multiple perspectives, or stories you may have otherwise missed. And that's why we're working with Ground News to sponsor this video, because we believe what they're doing is important. So sign up at ground.news/China or through my link below to get 40% off the Vantage program, which is what I use for unlimited access. Now, when it comes to China causing trouble for Taiwanese ships, like the recent incident with the Dajinman 88, the incident marks the first time since 2007 that China detained a Taiwanese ship for fishing out of season, according to Taiwan's Coast Guard. But this isn't the first time China has detained ships, period. What, you thought fishing out of season was their only excuse to detain a ship? It's generous of them to even attempt an excuse. In March, China detained 2 men whose boat got lost in fog in waters near Jinmen. One was released, but the other remains in Chinese custody. As it happens, the man China didn't release is an active member of Taiwan's armed forces. I wonder if that's got something to do with his detainment. Probably just a coincidence. Before that, in February, the Chinese Coast Guard boarded a Taiwanese tour boat full of civilians. I'm sure it was an unforgettable experience for them. 5 stars, would not recommend. Though to be fair, for those tourists, nothing shows the Taiwanese experience more authentically than being harassed by China. This is all part of China's gray zone warfare to undermine Taiwanese sovereignty. China uses its Coast Guard to legitimize its claims over Taiwan and to test the waters to see how far they can go without pushback. And by test the waters, I mean conduct military drills in them. Since February, China has been ramping up patrols near Taiwan's outlying islands, following the death of 2 Chinese fishermen who fell overboard running away from Taiwanese authorities. China really knows how to make tragedy into an opportunity. They also know how to make tragedy into bigger tragedies, though, so I'm not sure I want to brag about it if I were them. Over and over, China's Coast Guard vessels intrude into Jinmen's waters, with Chinese state-run media claiming they're just regular patrols, safeguarding maritime homeland security and fishing interests, which is a bit like hopping your neighbor's fence, waving a gun around and calling it home security. And last month, new rules took effect, allowing China's Coast Guard to detain foreign nationals in China-claimed waters for up to 60 days. This is an expansion of a 2021 law that authorizes the Coast Guard to fire upon foreign trespassers. So it's only a matter of time before somebody does more than just wave around axes and knives. The recent Taiwanese boat boarding and seizure really gives a glimpse of what would happen if China took complete control over Taiwan and the South China Sea. Imagine going through the Taiwan Strait or any other body of water China claims and always running the risk of having your ship boarded and seized, or worse, shot at, possibly with something more than just water. And you'd especially be at risk since China claims practically all waters as theirs. That Fiji bottle you're sipping on, better spit that out, that's property of the CCP. Being able to do this to everyone at whim is China's dream. That's all the more reason why the rest of Asia can't afford to let China get its way now. Because if they don't stand up now, China will continue to upgrade its escalations until it takes over the whole thing. Now I've got another video I want to show you, but first, check out this episode's sponsor, Ground News. Ground News is a great tool to help you stay well informed about what's happening in the world and how it's being covered by all sides of the political spectrum. Check it out with this QR code or go to ground.news/China. The link is in the description below. And here's that video I want to show you. It's from my newest channel, Gamers Unbeaten, where I hide controversial topics in short videos on video games featuring politics, philosophy, and my patented sense of humor, actual patent pending. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. See you next time.